So this is just some scribbling I did in jail. You know, some little preliminary sketches. You know, that are only one layer of a potential work of art. You know, I was going to magnify these by 4 times, and then, you know, put in all the colors and additional patterns and so on. It's all part of a much larger scheme. You know, so this amounts to doodling. You know, the stuff I did, it was very abstract and colorful and open to interpretation. This is perhaps in some ways too detailed, and it's not saying much. You know, nothing much is being said here. So, you know, for the first time, I really had some time to really concentrate my efforts. You know, and just producing some drawings. You know, they were primarily done in marker and crayon combined. You know, and I made a series of different birthday cards and event cards and holiday cards that were very unique and eye-catching. And you know, they looked like something else from afar, but when you got in close, you'd see, you know, layers of additional meaning. You know, really incredible stuff that so many people commented on, and they weren't just being nice, you know. Wait. So with a combination of food grade hydrogen peroxide, charcoal capsules, and vitamin B6 at a high dose, as well as plenty of water and a sauna, I think I managed to clear most of the nano crystal particulates. You see, they just get these uniform nanocrystals. They, you know, helps if they have your biological material for that. They put some in the witness well of a microwave emitter, and that's how it's done. It's a quantum effect. You know, you influence the you know, the matter, you know, the like matter, which is the same. You know, you can do this across space, wherever in the world it may be. You know, this has been studied. It's a strange black magic effect. It's real. So I think it's done through the cell phone towers, usually. But if they can get close to you with a microwave emitter, well, then they certainly can do a number on you. Gotta be careful of these things. Switch them off at night. They can program you. They're using a super amped up one, you know. When I got out of the hospital, and it was pretty bad. So at any rate, about my property, they did pack up one box, and and it was strange. It was parceled out. I'll have to show you. They did let me have. They held it in reserve. You see, they took part of the contents of the other two boxes, which I have yet to see, and they took the folder from that had all the documents that I produced in jail, in that 1 month of jail prior to being sent to the hospital for nearly a year. They allowed me to have that, but not my journals from my time in the hospital. None of my artwork from that time, nor the books, the paperback books which my mother sent me. So now, when they prepared those second two boxes, I brought them the contents, and they set those things in those two boxes, and yet they left them open, and they wrote my address down on a post-it note and attached that to one of the boxes. Then those boxes, they were brought to the property room, and I was, they were acting evasive with me all the while, and so I was a little concerned. I said, well, shouldn't these be taped up, and shouldn't an address label be put on them? Oh, well, we'll do that later. There was no reason to do it later. There was no reason to do it later at all. They just set them in the property room. And I was thinking, well, I'm really concerned here, but, I have no other choice but to trust these people. And at that point, I knew that there was just a very low probability that I'd ever see that again. And said, "Oh man, they really are gonna steal a year's worth of my work." I'm a professional writer. I'm a professional artist. My work has tremendous value. So I'm thinking, from doing a little research, I'm gonna need $2,500 to hire a lawyer and cover all those associated expenses, and there's some witnesses to this. People are gonna need to be subpoenaed, and there's this a big investigation will need to take place. So I don't know really how much money it's going to take, but I'm just estimating, $2,500 will get us a ways down the road. Now this is really, really important. That justice be done here. That they can't just do this. I was in there on spurious grounds anyway, and I was pushed into it. I was sleep deprived. I was microwaved. I was targeted in Portland, Oregon. My website was hacked. My phone was hacked. I couldn't get, it would shut off for long periods. When I was expecting calls, and there's a whole lot more going on beside. I would go into a coffee shop to access the internet, and people would look at me. People knew what was going on because a whole lot of websites were shut down. People couldn't access those websites due to the fact that I was in there. Like, oh well, this guy he's a CIA operative and all this stuff, and different little suppositions, about me, were being circulated, and so, it made it seem as though I was the cause of it, and that I was doing it so that I should therefore I should be an object of fear. I should be spurned. Let's get this guy out of town. And that's what they were trying to do. Because evidently, my presence here in Eugene has brought in all these really nasty folks from the deep state. They've been doing everything they can to slowly kill me. So it's just been really rough. I need help. I need justice. I'm a whistleblower. I was part of the black operation that got us into the global war on terrorism. Muhammad Atta and the gang, they were getting cold feet. I don't know. Yeah, even Muhammad Atta, as I recall. Because they were enjoying themselves too much in the strip clubs and some bars and nicer restaurants that they were going to as part of their cover. And so they needed to, we ensured that they began to have a really bad time. We drugged their drinks. We were using microwave emitters to manipulate their dreams. Because the programming that they had received in Saudi Arabia from their handlers was breaking down. You see, it needs continual reinforcement. So they were kind of thinking, well, there's just kind of got to be a better way, and these Americans, sure, they're infidels, and but they're not so bad, and we were just seeing, an expanded, future for themselves. It really takes a lot to get somebody to go against their survival instinct. It takes a tremendous amount of conditioning to create an effective terrorist, as somebody who's going to expend their own lives in the execution of a mission. So we ensured that they went ahead with it, and it was declassified that the FBI knew all about them, and of course Marine Corps military intelligence knew about them. And they were in the employ of the Project for the New American Century, the Bush administration think tank. I remember, I remote viewed these guys. And my handler, some officer in military intelligence from what I gather, he said, oh, we already know about them. And I made some suggestions, based on my impressions of the ringleader, Muhammad Atta, and then there was this other guy, what's his name? But they were the ones who were really particularly gung-ho about all of it, and But anyway, that's part of the reason why I've been so suppressed and targeted, from what I gather. And then I don't know. I've done some things contrary to the interest of certain corporations, involved in some kind of deception with their products and so on. It cost some people some money, sort of inadvertently. I don't know what it. There's just people out there who assume that I'm lying about this and that and the other thing, and they don't know how to do any research, and they like to lie to themselves. They live by a lie, and so it's just all very commonplace. Anyway, I need help, You got to step up sometimes. You rack up some good karma for yourself. I promise. If you can contribute just a couple of bucks, that would be marvelous of you. You know. Thank you so much. Thank you. So the $100 contributor will receive a tiger iron ore like this one. Now this is tiger's eye agate combined with hematite, and it's hard and heavy. It's good for the first two chakras. Kind of roll it around over your first two chakras. Now there's a danger because it can lead you into rash action. That's okay, because you can slide this into a sock and then brain your enemies with it. For the $500 contributor, they'll receive a custom speed switch with an Order of the Shining Serpent seal pressed into it. It'll be very similar to this one, except it'll be for the Gen 3 PMags, and it'll come with two 40-round PMags for 80 rounds of infinite ammo. In satanic black, of course. Now for the $900 contributor, you'll receive a signed copy of my new book, Eugenic Sports and Fire Years. A $900 value.